In this lesson, we want to show a great feature of the Report Painter, and it's so cool that actually some of the information system reports that are just defaulted in the system that we have by standard, we don't even have this possibility to have what we call a secondary horizontal page. And there are two things that we must consider to grasp the concept of the secondary horizontal page. First of all is that we want that next horizontal page to define additional columns, and of course in the cells for those columns we will have different data from the data that we have in the main horizontal section, in the main horizontal page. But what is also important just to consider is that the row definition that we have defined, that we have set up for the main horizontal page, will be shared in the secondary horizontal page. So a great example that we will use is just, for example, we will just create. Actually, we will create a new report, but we will also use this lesson to show the possibility that we can just copy an existing report to create a new report. So that's what we will just undertake right now. We will create a new one. We already have some columns for actual costs in the main horizontal page. So the next horizontal page that we will create will have quantities instead of costs. So for this, let's open the usual path here for the Report Painter. And let's start the create transaction. So well, this is actually well, great, because we already have a default values here for the library, for example, also for the report. But I mean, this is the previous report that we created. I am actually just going to cut that, because we will use that report as a basis for our new report. And of course, we just need to enter a valid ID here for the new report. And let's enter an adequate description for this. Okay, and well, as we have been saying, we can create a new report copying an existing report. So to speed things up, of course, that is the way to go, and we will do it in like this in this lesson, so that we don't have to define all the just the general data selections and the columns and the rows for the report. We will just copy all that definition from the previous report, and we will just create a new horizontal page. So let's do that. And well, again, we already had some columns set up here and the row definition. So let's create a new horizontal page. So in edit, here we have horizontal page, new horizontal page. And that's it. As you can see, well, like now everything has changed because we don't have at least the columns have definitely changed. We don't have the definition, because we want to, in this secondary horizontal page, we want to define some different columns. So let's just double click the first available column here. It just has like a question mark, because we haven't defined anything there and we haven't entered a title, but we will do that in just a few seconds. But of course, well, let's use the setting for a predefined key figure. And well, for this second horizontal page, we want to use the quantities. We want to first have a column for actual quantity. So we will select the actual quantity parameter here. And actually it's already selected, so let's just confirm. And well, of course, as always, we have some values just because this is a predefined. So the version is correct, the value type is also correct. If you remember, for is for actual. But what you really need to understand is the basic key figure is now different. Is the first horizontal page that we have has costs. So we have a column for actual costs, a column for planned costs, and well, the formula for just the difference. But now the columns that we will set up for this secondary horizontal page will be about quantity. So that is the reason we have the correct basic key figure now. And let's just enter well, a short, middle, and long text that are just a good description for this new column. So just we'll enter it like this, and like actual quantity, and we'll just copy the short text to the medium and long. And of course, that's it for the first column. So let's just click check and confirm. And now we want the second column for planned, so planned quantity. So let's just double click in the, well, next to the first column that we defined, and let's select again just a predefined key figure. And we will now just be careful to select planned quantity as the value for this second column, the predefined key figure. So let's just select confirm. And well, again, important at the top, the basic key figure is correctly set up as quantity. And well, we don't want a variable for the version, so let's just uncheck that and select version 0 that we have been working with. So just the planned actual version. And well, the value type is correct again because 4 is for actual, 1 is for planned in this scenario quantity. So let's click here again in the change short middle, and let's just enter like this, maybe like planned quantity. Okay, well, let's just copy the short text, of course, and we will okay, and we'll just check and confirm. And that's pretty much it. We also want like a difference formula to also analyze how far we are in the actual quantity to the target or just planned quantity. So let's just double click here next to planned quantity. And well, this time around it will be, of course, it's a formula. So let's select that one. And what is interesting is that we are still working with columns. So as we have been saying, every time we create a new column, the system will just have this numeric setting, like just like the sequence. So the first 3 columns are the ones for the first horizontal page, and the second well, the second horizontal page, we have the actual quantity, which is x004, and planned quantity, which is x005. What is also, this is also really interesting because that means that in this second horizontal page, we can also have like a formula that uses some of the values from the first horizontal page. So that's definitely great. Right now, we don't want to involve the first horizontal page values, so let's just click on x004, which is the actual quantity, and we will like to subtract the planned quantity just to have the difference there with the variance. So actually, let's with this, let's just confirm, and of course let's enter the text, which is well, variance. This time around is for the quantity, but I mean that's fine. Let's click confirm, and now we want to see the results, right? So what we want right now, first of all, is to assign this to a report group. So actually we will save it, and then environment, assign report to report group. And again, we will create a new report group for this report. Just let's create a new one. So it's SET5, the ID for the report group. We need to instruct the system to create the report group. So yes to that question. And that's it, right? Let's now just run this. So execute with F8, or with the clock icon that has a green check mark at the bottom. And of course, when the system finishes compiling all this new horizontal page, we just need to well, the system will show this, which is the parameter screen. Right now we don't want to modify any parameter value, so let's just execute again. So we see the result. So, well, of course, at first you probably are thinking right now that nothing changed, nothing happened, because we have just the lead column, the actual and planned costs, and the variance. All of these are costs. But what we need to do is just click here on page right. It will of course take us like to the next horizontal page. And as you can see, well, the values are completely different in the columns. The rows are the same because, as we have been saying, the row like the row definition, it's a share among the pages, but even like it's immediate for us that the values are different. We don't have like anything for actual quantity. We only have some planned quantity for some of the cost accounts, cost elements. And then, of course, what is interesting is we only set up one, but we have other horizontal pages. And you might also be wondering, okay, but how can I just go back? Of course, well, we can just go with page left. Or if we have multiple horizontal pages, we have also this, which is just saying to the far left. It will take us immediately to the first horizontal page. And we can just click also this one to the far right. That one will take us to the last horizontal page. In this scenario, we only have two, so it's pretty much the same as using the page right, of course. But again, interesting things that we can accomplish, and as we have been saying, also some or pretty much not much of the standard reports have this feature. So well, it's nice to know that when we create our own reports using this tool, we can add those horizontal pages. So well, after we have seen this, let's just quit the report and quit just the transaction to create a new report, because actually that's it for this lesson. We have finished now, and we just want to thank you and to invite you to, you can write to our email 123learnsap@gmail.com for any doubts that you may have, for any comments as well, so we can just catch up there.